The night was draped in an eerie silence as Alex, the lone temporal warrior, stood amidst the moonlit ruins of Normandy. Here, on this forlorn battlefield, the echoes of World War II still lingered like restless spirits. The cold wind whispered through shattered bunkers and rusted tanks, creating a haunting symphony. Alex had been led to this place by a cryptic tip, a tantalizing thread to a greater mystery. He knew that Victor, a rogue temporal manipulator, was near. The very thought of Victor sent a shiver down Alex's spine. He was dangerous, unpredictable, and had a peculiar knack for altering the past in ways that defied logic. Footsteps broke the silence, and Alex's instincts surged to life. Victor was close. A figure emerged from the shadows, clad in a tattered military uniform, wielding a rifle. Victor's face remained obscured beneath a weathered helmet, concealing his identity. "Victor," Alex called out, their voice unwavering. "It's over. Surrender now." A low, mirthless chuckle emanated from beneath Victor's helmet. "Surrender? You always were too predictable, Alex." Without warning, Victor raised his rifle and unleashed a hail of bullets. They sliced through the night, hurtling straight for Alex. Instinct kicked in, and Alex summoned his time-bending powers. The world around them slowed to a crawl, and the bullets hung frozen, mere inches from their face. But then, the twist. Instead of metal projectiles, the bullets shattered into ephemeral fragments of light, vanishing like specters. Victor's laughter echoed as he stepped closer. "Impressive, isn't it? I've learned a few tricks since our last encounter." Alex's expression hardened. "Tricks won't save you." The battlefield transformed into a fierce battleground. The fallen soldiers, long lost to history, rose from their graves, reanimated by Victor's temporal manipulations. It was a macabre dance, a dance of death and deception. Alex had to navigate the illusion of war, deflecting attacks from ghostly apparitions. Amid the chaos, Alex managed to land a solid blow on Victor, sending him reeling. The force of the strike knocked off his helmet, and the face revealed was not what Alex had expected. Victor appeared younger, his eyes filled with a desperate intensity that hinted at a hidden truth. Before Alex could react, Victor triggered a temporal device, a device that had allowed him to vanish into the past, leaving Alex alone on the desolate battlefield. "Next time, Alex," Victor's voice echoed from the shadows, "you won't be so lucky." Alex's thoughts were a whirlwind of confusion as he stood alone amidst the remnants of history. The twists and turns of his confrontation with Victor had only deepened the mystery. Why was Victor altering the past? What cosmic catastrophe was he trying to prevent? And how had he become so skilled in the art of temporal manipulation? A week passed, and Alex's relentless pursuit led them deep into the heart of the Amazon rainforest. Rumors had hinted at Victor's presence among the ancient Mayan ruins hidden within the dense jungle. Guided by a flickering holographic map, Alex ventured further into the labyrinthine greenery. It was a long, tiring day, and he decided to take rest before moving forward. He found one pyramid, which looked strangely out of the place. There was a tree near that pyramid. Alex decided to rest there. As he sat under the shade of tree, something shifted beneath him. He got up in reflex and saw that the place where he was seated had sunk a little, creating a small square-shaped hole. He also heard metal unlocking sound, and to his utter disbelief, he saw a small opening emerge in the pyramid out of nowhere. Alex had accidentally stumbled upon a hidden chamber beneath a towering pyramid. He entered the chamber and found that it was bathed in an eerie blue light. Interestingly, it was filled with anachronistic artifacts and advanced technology. It appeared to be a secret base, a temporal sanctuary that Victor had meticulously established in the past. Alex's eyes widened as he surveyed the peculiar artifacts, each one a testament to the defiance of time itself. There were relics from eras that should never have crossed paths, technology that seemed impossibly advanced for its time. "Victor, what have you been doing here?" Alex muttered, examining the strange contraptions that lined the room. The very air seemed to vibrate with temporal energy, and the room pulsed with the weight of secrets untold. As Alex gingerly picked up a glowing amulet, he heard a soft click behind him. Whirling around, he found Victor. no longer in a military uniform, but dressed in Mayan robes. A sardonic smile played on his lips as he looked at Alex, his eyes filled with a curious mix of determination and fear. "Welcome to my sanctuary, Alex," Victor said, his voice dripping with cryptic intent. "Impressive, isn't it? I've been harnessing the power of time itself." Alex raised an eyebrow, their skepticism undiminished. "But why, Victor? What's your endgame?" Victor's eyes gleamed as he stepped forward. "The Paradox Convergence. I'm trying to prevent it, Alex. It's a cosmic event that could unravel everything. You have to understand, I'm not your enemy here." The room seemed to pulse with anticipation as Victor activated a holographic projector. A three-dimensional representation of the Paradox Convergence materialized before them, a complex warping of different realities. It was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Alex's skepticism was a palpable presence as they watched the display. The very notion of a cosmic event threatening the fabric of reality seemed almost absurd, but the intensity in Victor's eyes was undeniable. "This is what I've been fighting against," Victor explained, his voice earnest. "If it happens, countless timelines will collide, tearing reality apart. I've been altering the past to weaken the event's impact, but my methods are not getting desired results. We need to work together to stop it." The room seemed to hum with a weighty truth, and for the first time, doubt crept into Alex's mind. The pieces of the puzzle were falling into place, but there were still missing elements. Victor's words, once dismissed as a bluff, now carried the weight of a world-shattering revelation. But Alex was not ready to concede. Maybe Victor was bluffing. He needed more than words to trust his former adversary. The tension in the room escalated, and suddenly, fists were flying. The two warriors clashed, a furious dance of blows and counterblows. The room itself seemed to twist and contort in response to their battle, as if reality itself was rebelling against the clash of temporal titans. Sparks of temporal energy lit up the chamber, casting eerie shadows on the walls. In the end, it was Alex's resolve and combat skills that proved superior. With a final decisive blow, they sent Victor sprawling to the ground, his temporal device clattering to the stone floor. "You were wrong, Victor," Alex declared, standing over their fallen foe. "I won't let you endanger the timeline." Suddenly, Alex felt a ripple in the air, a distortion of reality itself. With growing realization, he watched as the illusion of Victor wavered and dissipated into thin air. "Alex," a voice echoed, faint yet unmistakable. "You've been chasing shadows." Months turned into years, and Alex continued his mission to safeguard the timeline, haunted by Victor's warning. He often found himself reflecting on the enigmatic world that his former adversary had described, a world where timelines converged, where the very fabric of reality was at stake. One day, Alex crossed paths with a reclusive temporal scholar who had been studying the nature of time for decades. The scholar shared his research findings, which included a series of historical events and temporal disturbances that aligned with the predicted timeline of the Paradox Convergence. The scholar's expertise and detailed evidence convinces Alex of the imminent threat. In that moment, Alex realized the gravity of the situation. Their universe was the last line of defense against a cataclysm that could shatter the multiverse. Victor's words, once dismissed as a bluff, now echoed in their mind, and he knew that the true battle had just begun. With a renewed sense of purpose, Alex activated his time-bending device and stepped into the tides of time, ready to confront the impending Paradox Convergence and to unravel the mysteries of the enigmatic world Alex had sought to protect. The journey was far from over, and the stakes had never been higher. The temporal warrior and the rogue time manipulator were fated to clash again, but this time, the fate of all existence hung in the balance. As Alex delves deeper into their quest to understand the nature of the Paradox Convergence, he receives a cryptic message from an anonymous source. The message directs him to a hidden underground facility located beneath an isolated research institute known for its experiments in temporal manipulation. Upon infiltrating the facility, Alex discovers a chamber filled with advanced temporal technology and research notes. One particular set of notes catches his attention. an entry dated few years ago and scented by a brilliant temporal scientist named Dr. Serafina Thorne. The notes describe a groundbreaking experiment where Dr. Thorne had created a powerful temporal nexus device with the intention of creating a world where the tragedies of the past could be rectified, where the sins of humanity could be erased, and where a new era of progress and harmony would dawn. Alex realizes, based on his experience of multiverses, that this temporal nexus device was no normal device. Once activated, it can lead to formation of a sentient entity, an entity which can merge all timelines, creating Paradox Convergence. To further confirm his discovery, Alex accesses the facility's archived records and finds a series of historical anomalies, each corresponding to a major event in the past. These anomalies align precisely with the moments when the Paradox Convergence threatened to occur. With mounting evidence and a growing sense of urgency, Alex deciphers Dr. Thorne's research notes and realizes that the only way to stop the sentient entity and avert the convergence is to find the Nexus device, which is rumored to be situated at a remote location in the multiverse. Armed with this newfound knowledge, Alex embarks on a perilous journey across different timelines and dimensions, racing against time to locate the temporal anchor and confront the sentient entity creating Temporal Nexus device. His quest led him to Neo-Era Prime, a dystopian world in 3042 AD. The air in this high-tech futuristic metropolis was thick with the hum of machinery and the neon glow of holographic billboards. Skyscrapers pierced the sky, their towering forms reflecting in the rain-slicked streets below. Alex, the temporal warrior, had finally arrived at the heart of this technological marvel. He expected to find the Temporal Nexus at Temporal Tech Industries in this city. Alex believed that if he could get hold of this device, he may have a chance to reverse the process of sentient entity creation and thereby stop Paradox Convergence. The labyrinthine cityscape was a stark contrast to the ancient ruins of Normandy and the primeval forests of the Amazon. Here, amidst the relentless march of progress, Alex felt out of place, like a relic from a bygone era. But he had a mission to fulfill, a mission that would determine the fate of the multiverse. Guided by his instincts and the flickering holographic map, Alex made his way through the bustling metropolis. He moved with purpose, navigating the maze of bustling streets and soaring skyscrapers. As he reached the heart of the city, the colossal corporate headquarters of Temporal Tech Industries loomed before him. It was a monolithic structure of glass and steel, a testament to mankind's relentless pursuit of temporal power. This was where the trail had led him, a place that held the key to their mission. With stealthy grace, Alex blended into the flow of pedestrians, slipping past automated guards and security cameras. His specially designed temporal cloak kept him hidden from the ever-watchful surveillance systems. Inside the facility, the stark exterior gave way to a high-tech labyrinth of white walls and angular corridors. The air thrummed with an electric charge, hinting at the advanced technology concealed within. As the elevator ascended, Alex's heart raced with anticipation. He had infiltrated countless secret facilities, but this was different. The stakes were higher, and the knowledge hidden within these walls could reshape the very fabric of reality. The elevator doors slid open, revealing a pristine laboratory bathed in sterile white light. Glass tanks containing swirling temporal energy stood in rows, each one a testament to the power at the corporation's disposal. It was here, amidst the cutting-edge technology, that Alex felt the presence of the temporal nexus. His eyes scanned the room, searching for any signs of the hidden nexus. It was then that he noticed a holographic display, a three-dimensional representation of the temporal nexus. It pulsed with energy, its intricate patterns shifting and changing. The revelation struck Alex like a lightning bolt. "This is it," he whispered, his voice barely audible amidst the sterile silence. But his moment of revelation was short-lived. The laboratory doors slammed shut, sealing him inside. Alarms blared, and a voice echoed through the chamber's speakers. "Intruder detected. Security protocol initiated." His temporal cloak had failed him at the last moment. Alex had little time to react as armed guards in sleek futuristic armor stormed into the room. The guards were not ordinary. They were temporal assassins, skilled in the art of manipulating time to their advantage. The battle that ensued was a symphony of chaos and paradoxes. The guards moved with unnerving speed, their temporal devices allowing them to phase in and out of existence. Bullets fired by the assassins twisted and turned in mid-air, making them almost impossible to dodge. Alex's time-bending powers were put to the test as he fought off the relentless onslaught. He bent time around them, creating temporal shields and redirecting attacks. But the assassins were relentless, and their tactics were unpredictable. Amidst the skirmish, one of the assassins managed to land a crippling blow on Alex, sending him sprawling to the ground. Pain shot through his body as he struggled to regain his footing. The assassin approached, a cruel smile on his face. "Your time ends here!" the assassin hissed, raising his weapon for the final blow. But just as the assassin pulled the trigger, time itself seemed to revolt. A temporal disturbance rippled through the chamber, creating a disorienting wave of energy. The assassin's shot veered off course, striking a nearby tank containing volatile temporal energy. The tank shattered with an ear-splitting explosion, engulfing the room in a blinding flash of light. Reality itself seemed to warp and twist as the temporal energies were unleashed. The assassins were thrown off balance, their devices malfunctioning in the chaos. Amidst the temporal maelstrom, Alex managed to regain his composure. He summoned his remaining strength and unleashed a wave of temporal energy that sent the assassins hurtling into temporal rifts, their existence getting erased as they were cast adrift through time. As the dust settled and the alarms fell silent, Alex stood amidst the aftermath of the battle. The laboratory was in ruins, and the temporal nexus had vanished from the holographic display. He sighed as his last hope to stop the sentient entity had vanished into thin air. He had to find some other way. Months passed, and Alex continued his quest to decipher a way to stop Paradox Convergence. He delved into ancient texts and consulted with temporal scholars, piecing together the puzzle of the looming catastrophe. Then, one fateful night, as he pored over his research in a dimly lit chamber, a holographic message appeared before him. It was Victor, his image flickering with an air of urgency. "Alex," Victor's voice echoed, "there's something you need to know." Alex's heart raced as he listened to Victor's revelation. My journey into the realm of temporal manipulation and the pursuit of redemption was a path paved by the brilliance and guidance of my mentor, Dr. Serafina Stone, Victor said. She was an unparalleled luminary in the field of temporal physics, and she saw in me the potential and fervor to delve into the mysteries of time. Under Mrs. Stone's nurturing guidance, I thrived, and our collaboration led to groundbreaking research that promised to change the course of human history. We aspired for a world where the tragedies of the past could be rectified, where the sins of humanity could be erased, and where a new era of progress and harmony would dawn. Yet, our noble intentions took a devastating turn on that fateful day when we embarked on an experiment designed to tap into the very essence of temporal energy. We created Temporal Nexus device. Little did we know that this endeavor would serve as a catalyst for a dormant and malevolent entity known as the Temporal Enigma, an entity that spanned across the multiverse. Our activation of device tore through the fabric of reality, creating a rift that resonated with the Enigma's dark and powerful forces. The consequences were nothing short of catastrophic. Timelines collided, historical eras merged, and the once stable foundation of reality crumbled into temporal chaos. The streets bore witness to the surreal sight of historical figures coexisting, wars that history had long forgotten reknitting. The weight of the devastation we had unwittingly unleashed pressed upon our hearts like a boulder. We had become unwitting pawns in the Temporal Enigma's sinister plan, manipulated by its malevolence. The knowledge that our actions had caused immeasurable suffering weighed heavily upon us, casting long and harrowing shadows upon our souls. Fueled by an unrelenting sense of responsibility and an ardent desire for redemption, Mrs. Stone and I dedicated our lives to comprehending the enigmatic nature of the temporal enigma. We immersed ourselves in the intricate realm of temporal manipulation, wielding our combined expertise to mend the shattered tapestry of time. Our mission was clear: to restore equilibrium to the timelines, to mend the ruptured chronicles of history, and above all, to thwart the Temporal Enigma's ominous ambition to draw all timelines into a cataclysmic convergence. However, despite our ceaseless endeavors, the Temporal Enigma proved to be an adversary of unprecedented magnitude. It eluded our attempts to unearth its source and sever its connection to the timelines. The entity wielded temporal power beyond our comprehension, and its cunning far surpassed any challenge we had faced. As time flowed on, the relentless pursuit of the enigma took its toll on Mrs. Stone. She, who had been my mentor, my guiding light, grew frail and feeble. Her strength waned, and she could no longer bear the weight of the fight. Determined to continue our mission, I embarked on a solitary odyssey to confront the Temporal Enigma. Yet the entity's influence had proliferated throughout the multiverse, making it a daunting task to pinpoint its elusive source. Despite my unwavering resolve, I found myself incapable of halting the inexorable progression of its plan. Desperation gnawed at my soul, and in my fervor to weaken the enigma's grip, I resorted to drastic temporal alterations. Regrettably, my actions, though well-intentioned, only served to further the enigma's sinister objectives. The memory of Mrs. Stone's teachings and our shared vision for a brighter future compelled me to press forward. The burden of responsibility weighed heavily upon my shoulders, and I swore an oath to confront the Temporal Enigma, even if it meant delving into the enigmatic depths of time itself to vanquish the entity at its very source. "Oh, so you were the one who helped in creation of Temporal Nexus?" Alex asked. "Yes, I know how to create a Temporal Nexus device, but it's of no use because the device we created had a fundamental flaw. It was not designed to reverse temporal manipulations on a multiverse-wide scale. Instead, its capabilities were limited to localized temporal corrections and alterations," Victor said stoically. "Creating another device to stop previous devices' creation is not possible." "Oh," Alex sighed, recalling his original thesis regarding backtesting Temporal Nexus device for stopping Temporal Enigma was of no use. "The Temporal Enigma is the true threat," Victor explained. "I've been fighting against it, trying to prevent the convergence, but my methods are crude, and I need your help." The truth hit Alex like a tidal wave. The lines between friend and foe blurred, and he was faced with an impossible choice. Could he trust Victor, his former adversary, in the face of a cosmic threat that threatened to unravel all of existence? Doubt gnawed at the edges of Alex's mind, but the evidence was undeniable. The Temporal Enigma was the true enemy, and it had to be stopped. The stage was set for a final confrontation, a temporal showdown that would determine the fate of the multiverse. Alex knew that he could not face this threat alone, and so he reached out to the Temporal Guardians, the very organization that had once pursued Victor. The Guardians were wary of the alliance, but the evidence presented by Alex was irrefutable. The Paradox Convergence was imminent, and the Temporal Enigma had to be stopped. Together, Alex, the Temporal Guardians, and even Victor himself formed an uneasy alliance. They would confront the Temporal Enigma, harness its power, and prevent the convergence that threatened to tear apart the fabric of reality. The battle that lay ahead was unlike anything they had faced before. It was a battle that would test their resolve, their understanding of time, and the very essence of their existence. And so, as the metropolis of the future buzzed with the relentless march of progress, the temporal warriors prepared for a showdown that would determine the unity of time itself. The final act of their journey had begun, and the fate of the multiverse hung in the balance. Together, Alex, the Temporal Guardians, and even Victor himself embarked on a perilous quest to confront the Temporal Enigma and prevent the Paradox Convergence. Their journey took them to the very edge of known time and space, where the boundaries between realities blurred and the laws of physics became a mere suggestion. It was a realm of temporal anomalies, where past, present, and future converged in a mesmerizing dance. The Temporal Enigma was a formidable adversary. It manifested as a swirling vortex of temporal energies, a sentient force that defied comprehension. Its power was awe-inspiring and terrifying, capable of rewriting entire timelines with a mere thought. The battle that ensued was a symphony of temporal manipulation, a clash of wills that transcended the boundaries of existence. Alex, Victor, and the Guardians fought valiantly, their powers pushing the limits of their understanding. Reality itself seemed to warp and twist in response to their conflict. As the battle raged on, it became apparent that the temporal enigma could not be defeated through brute force alone. It was a creature of paradoxes, and to defeat it, they needed to unravel the very essence of its existence. Together, Alex and Victor devised a plan that involved creating a temporal loop, a continuous fixture in time and space that would confine the temporal enigma's power. It was a risky gambit, one that could trap them in an eternal struggle, but it was their only hope. With a burst of temporal energy, they enacted the plan. Reality itself seemed to fold in on itself as the temporal enigma was ensnared in the infinite loop. Time became a never-ending cycle, a perpetual battle that would keep the entity at bay for all eternity. As the temporal vortex stabilized, Alex and Victor found themselves locked in a ceaseless confrontation, their actions and counteractions echoing through time and space. They had become a continuous fixture, guardians of the temporal balance, and a beacon of hope for the multiverse. The battle had been won, but at a great cost. Alex and Victor were now forever entwined in the tapestry of time, their existence an unending struggle to maintain the unity of time. It was a sacrifice they had willingly made to protect the countless timelines and realities that depended on them. And so, as the metropolis of the future continued its relentless march, oblivious to the cosmic battle that had taken place, Alex and Victor remained vigilant. They had become legends, myths whispered among temporal scholars and passed down through the ages. Their story was one of redemption, of sacrifice, and of the enduring power of unity in the face of temporal chaos. They were the guardians of time, the continuous fixtures in the ever-shifting landscape of the multiverse, and they would ensure that the threads of existence remained intact. In the end, Alex and Victor had found their purpose, not as adversaries, but as custodians of time itself. It was a journey that would stretch into eternity, a testament to the unbreakable bond between two warriors who had once been on opposing sides, but had come to understand the true meaning of unity in the face of the infinite.